I could not be more thrilled about what we're making today because it is soup season, it's raining outside currently, and all I want to do is dive into a big bowl of my spicy miso ramen with pork. It is one of my favorite cozy weather recipes to make. We're going to be making it today. It is from my book, The Comfortable Kitchen. Let's get cooking. Okay, so we're going to start off by browning up some ground pork. If you don't eat pork, you could use some ground turkey here, or you could even add like some shredded rotisserie chicken instead. Just don't do this first step. Or you could just keep it vegetarian, which omit this first step. Because pork has a lot of fat in it, I'm not even gonna add any oil to my skillet. And I'm just gonna brown it up. If you're using ground turkey, you're gonna wanna add like maybe a tablespoon or so of avocado oil to brown it up. So one of my favorite spots to grab like a really good bowl of spicy ramen is from Wabi House here in Dallas. And so I was at home and I wanted to make my own spicy ramen version. And this is it. I love it because it's got like the umami from the miso paste. It's got the creaminess from a little bit of coconut milk, and it's still brothy and warm and delicious. And you're gonna love it. It's the best homemade ramen. Pork is browned up. I'm going to transfer that into a skillet. I'm gonna use a slotted spoon or my spider here. And you're just gonna put this on the side for a minute while we saute up some of our veggies. Okay, there's just a little bit of that pork fat in there to cook down our shallot. Got 2 large shallots that I've minced up. And then I have 4 cloves of garlic. I'm just gonna soften those. Okay, we're also gonna add in some shiitake mushrooms in there. And then we've got a lot of aromatics going in. So we're gonna do a tablespoon of toasted sesame oil. Bring out that nutty flavor. Spicy, this is a spicy miso ramen, so you can obviously modify according to your taste preferences, but I'm doing a teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes, a teaspoon of cayenne. It seems like a lot, but this is the level of heat that I like. And my personal favorite ingredient is the Szechuan peppercorn. If you've never cooked with these before, they are the most like pleasant surprise of like a nice tingle in your mouth. So it's not spicy, but it's gonna give your mouth this like interesting tingle experience and like almost like a slight numbing, and it brings out the heat even more to make this dish just iconic. What I like to do is just, I wanna crush these up a little bit. So I put the peppercorns in a Ziploc bag and I'm just gonna crush them up with the meat mallet. You could use the bottom of a heavy skillet. That's going in as well. You don't want to leave these guys out. If you're looking for them, a lot of grocery stores carry them. If not, find your local Asian mart. Okay, now that I've got those spices in there, I'm just gonna kind of toast them up to bring out the flavors for about a minute or 2 without burning them. Smells good already. All right, we're gonna add our miso paste into here. You wanna use a white miso paste. I have this chickpea miso right here, which is gonna keep it gluten-free, but any white miso works in this recipe. Plus, that's all my grocery store had this morning. Okay, I'm gonna just kind of stir that miso in. It's gonna be kind of lumpy, but you wanna incorporate it as much as possible and with those veggies in there, and it kind of toasts and brings out those flavors as well. And once you got it semi-incorporated in there, you're gonna just kind of slowly, while stirring, pour in about a cup of beef broth. You could use chicken broth or veggie broth as well, until it's all well incorporated and smooth. Make sure you got all your lumps out before you start adding your other liquids, just because you can see a little bit more with less liquid in there. I'm gonna do this whole carton now. So now that we've got that all incorporated, we're just gonna continue to stir and add in the remaining 3 cups of broth. So you're gonna do 4 cups total, or 32 ounces. Next up, we're gonna add in some coconut milk. This is my favorite brand of coconut milk. I always keep it in my pantry on hand Just got really good, smooth flavor, and I love it. And I'm gonna stir in 1 cup. So we've got a cup of that coconut milk added in there. Our broth is looking like silkier and smooth and delicious. We're gonna add a couple more things. We're gonna let this simmer while we prepare our eggs and our noodles. All right, we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of coconut aminos in there. And then we're gonna add in our pork back into our soup. We've got these sliced bamboo shoots that come in a jar. We're gonna drain them off and add that to our soup as well. When you drain off those bamboo shoots, just quickly rinse them. I don't know what that fluid is that they're sitting in, but I'd prefer it not to be my soup. It's going in. Got about 4 green onions. I'm gonna just put a little bit of the green parts aside for garnish. But the rest of them are going in there. To bring a little bit of zing, a little bit of acid to our soup, we're gonna do the juice of 1 lime. Okay, so we already have a lot of salty elements and umami elements, the miso, the coconut aminos, what else do we have in here? But there's some salty elements in here, but you're still gonna need a little bit of salt to it. So I recommend just kind of tasting the broth right here and adding a little bit of salt to taste, and let these flavors meld and simmer. Honestly, doesn't need much. For me, just a little pinchy poo. That broth is freaking fire. Not spicy fire, like fire that in the sense that it's delicious. Yum. Okay, I'm gonna leave this alone, even though I wanna just admire it for a minute. We're just gonna let it simmer really lightly. We don't want it to reduce or anything. And we're gonna prepare our little jammy eggs is what I like to call them, that are gonna sit on top of the ramen, and we're gonna prepare our noodles. Okay, so I have a medium saucepan with some water boiling. We're gonna cook our eggs. Don't drain the water because then we're gonna cook our ramen. Everything cooks pretty quickly. But for the jammy eggs, we're gonna carefully lower them, use a slotted spoon or a spider, again, my favorite gadget today, into the broth, and you're gonna cook them for precisely 6.5 minutes. Precisely. Okay, so after the 6.5 minutes is up, we're going to transfer our eggs to a bowl of ice, which it needs water. Ice water, but I only have ice, so let's get some water. Got distracted, just got ice. These are gonna hang out in their little ice bath while we cook our noodles in the same pot, which I have these little ramen noodle packages. We're not gonna use the seasoning. We're just gonna use the nudes. You can buy them sometimes in the package with just the ramen noodles, but my grocery store this morning didn't have that. So I had to do this. You need about 5 ounces of noodles. And you're just gonna cook your noodles according to whatever package instructions you have. Mine says about 3 minutes. Okay, so once your noodles are ready, you're gonna divide them amongst 4 bowls. I'm just making one right now. So I'm just gonna turn this heat off, keep my noodles hydrated, add some noodles to my bowl. We're gonna come over here and we're gonna ladle our beautiful miso ramen, spicy miso ramen broth right over those noodles. And this is a really hearty ramen. There's lots of meat, veggies. We saved up some green onions, so we'll add those. We have our cutie little jammy eggs. And if you're wondering what a jammy egg is, it's the texture of the yolk in the center. So you want it kind of a jammy texture. So I'm just gonna peel this up. All right, moment of truth. See that beautiful jammy texture? This is the perfect egg for ramen. So we're gonna just tuck those into bed with this beautiful broth. We're gonna also get some little seaweed sheets. You're gonna cut these little sheets into slivers. Another burst of like umami, salty flavor. Yum. And then a little bit of sesame seed for garnish. I'm also gonna add white and black sesame seeds. because it looks prettier. And that, my friends, is a beautiful bowl of spicy miso ramen made at home in your kitchen. It's very simple to make, and the rewards are there. It's delightful. Okay, I'm always excited to take a bite of my recipes at the end of these videos, but today, I think it might be the most excited I've ever been, because ramen. Literally tastes like you ordered it. Maybe even better. It's rich, the broth is so good. It's got the spiciness, and it's got all the umami flavors. It's delightful. This is a, hold on. This is an absolute must make this soup season. You can find it in my book, The Comfortable Kitchen, along with so many other great soup recipes. And I have a million other amazing, cozy, delicious soup recipes on my blog, thedefinedish.com. See a little noodle in there.